Well, good morning, everyone. My name is MightyStream, and today is June the 2nd. I'm going to do your spiritual principle a day in a meditation. I hope you're doing well this morning. Okay, the title of today's meditation is Learning to Love Ourselves. We've begun to see that God's will for us is the ability to live with dignity, to love ourselves and others, to laugh, and to get great joy and beauty in our surroundings, to find great joy and beauty in our surroundings. That comes from It Works, step 11. When we are new in NA, we may hear someone say they will love us until we learn to love ourselves. Despite our self centeredness, many of us arrive in the program devoid of self esteem and incapable of loving anyone, perhaps most especially ourselves. Over time, we learn to value ourselves. Over time, we learn how to value ourselves. Simple acts of self care at the beginning of each day can be a good place to start. Maybe we make the bed, set an intention for the day, or do a daily reading. In the basic text story, Just Say Yes, one member shared, I discovered that breakfast is a spiritual principle. With honesty, open mindedness, willingness, and breakfast, we were we're well on our way. I don't know what's wrong with my reading today, but you get the point, right? All right. NA is a practical program that we use in every area of our lives. Sometimes this means nurturing our physical selves or contemplating halts as suggested in the basic text. Are we too hungry, angry, lonely, or tired? Are we taking ourselves too seriously? It's easy to forget how the state of our body can deeply affect our sense of well being. The contrast between a life in recovery and a life of active addiction is clear. We can find gratitude in the simple benefits of recovery, like food in the cupboard and a safe place to eat it. If we think about the mornings we experienced before we got clean, we might remember feeling sick and desperate or cold and hungry. The NA program gives us a way out of that darkness and into a day full of possibilities. Through working the steps, we learn to love ourselves and the world around us. We find ways to take care of ourselves and treat ourselves with kindness. And we share that love with others. Perhaps telling a newcomer we will love them until they learn to love themselves. I will contemplate my physical, emotional, and spiritual well being and reinvigorate my morning routine. I will take time to consciously reflect on the abundance recovery has brought to my life. Wow, that's a powerful meditation. Let's take a moment of silence, followed by the we version of the Serenity Prayer. Moment of silence now, please. Thank you. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things that we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference just for today. Please and thank you. That's a powerful meditation, and I enjoy it because it makes me think about how self care, right? Learning to love ourselves, the act of actually tending to our needs, nurturing ourselves, giving ourselves time to meditate, giving ourselves time to recover from all of the other things that we had just previously done is important. I think that what happens for me sometimes is that I know that at a certain point in the day, like 6 in the morning, I know that if I haven't gotten up in advance of that, the chances of me having some time to take care of myself, to nurture myself, is slim to none. I already know I have to build that self-care into my day. Now, I may get it through the course of the day and take moments to meditate like that to refocus, reset myself. And as a matter of fact, I just checked out a beautiful book at the library, and it has all of these wonderful ideals of how to do self-care anytime from just 30 seconds long all the way to longer sets of meditation or exercises. It gives you all of these things through the course of the day that a person can do to establish self-care as a counselor, so that when you're counseling, you're actually in a position where you're listening now to your client and not doing all of the talking, right? Bringing your problems to the people that come to you with their problems. So I've been reading this book and I am finding that, okay, so like right now, I'm way past time, right? It's already 6:36. My young one that is supposed to be up at 6 is moving around the house looking at me like, what's going on? Oh, okay. I'm flying from the nest on my own now. Okay. That's fine. I've done this before. I know you're running late with your recording, right? But typically I try not to impose upon that time frame when it comes to me doing the things for self-care before 6 a.m. However, I'm learning that even if I don't have just that designated amount of time before 6, I can take moments through the course of the day. I'm learning how important, not necessarily, I think I can lose a few pounds to say the least. So I don't think I'm going to starve anytime soon. But that rest piece, I'm becoming more sensitive about not having sleep. Thinks about a month or so ago, I said something like, if I could never sleep and just work through the day, that would be the most ideal. But basically, what I was trying to say is that I'm not having enough hours in my day to do the things that need to be done and do the self-care. So, in accordance with our Just for Today meditation, when the pain of change, right, is less than the pain of staying the same, you change, right? Or when the pain of staying the same is greater than the pain of change, you'll change. So I'm seeing in my life that I need to love myself more, take better care of myself. So, what are you thinking about this topic? Contemplate your physical, emotional, and spiritual well being and reinvigorate your morning routine. Set the pace for the day by taking care of yourself. Add something, even if it's just 15 minutes of warm tea and honey and listening to the podcast. Even if it's, okay, I'm going to make myself some vegetables and eggs for breakfast. I don't know who all eats vegetables. I don't mind eating vegetables for breakfast, right? So, whatever that is, start today. Start today. And I have a very good idea that if you're listening to the podcast, you already have somewhat of a routine going. So let's just do one extra thing. My name is Mighty Stream. I've enjoyed talking to you. I've got to go. I will talk to you tomorrow. But in the meantime, have a beautiful day on purpose.